going on, guys? Kivox here, and welcome to a new WandsDay. It's been a while. I feel like it's been quite a little while since I made one of these. But well, I got 5 wands to show you guys. It's been a while, but I got a few wands. If you guys follow me on Instagram or the community page, you've probably already seen some of these. Also, I showed most of them off during the live stream last week. So if you guys don't know about that, we do a live stream every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to join us. We hang out with you guys. We do stuff like that. Like I said, we have 5 new wands today, and I want to showcase some of your guys' creations as well. If you guys want to submit wands to be reviewed, I am just accumulating a ton right now, and I plan on just doing a series of videos once I have like a bunch, which I already have actually a bunch, but once I have even more, basically I just need to find some time to do it. I have plenty of wands right now to review, so I'm just kind of picking a few when I have time to do these videos and show off my wands and show off some of your guys' wands. So I'm gonna be doing that too for the community spotlight today. So that being said, let's talk about some of your wands. The first spotlight that we're going to be going over is Andy. I mean, that's any name that I got for him. So it's Andy. Andy made these drawings of these beautiful wands, and also one of them looks very much so like Spielman's wand from the new Fantastic Beasts. But according to Andy, he came up with the idea first. Nice job. And they look really good. There are definitely a few that are all kind of the same style, almost like you were trying to figure out what you wanted to make, which is cool. I don't do that often. I kind of just pick up where I left. So I'll make a wand, that's a design, then I move on to the next. I don't keep redrawing it, which some ways is a good idea because you kind of refine it, which is good. All of these, if you were to make all of them, they're all unique enough, they're all different enough where they would all look pretty good. I would say that my least favorite one is probably the snake one, which you said is a zodiac. It's your Chinese zodiac. I have a thing about animal wands, about putting animals on wands, animal heads. I just don't like doing it. And I usually don't like wands that look like that either. Just kind of a pet peeve of mine. I don't know. I'm a little weird like that. And then some of these would be extremely hard. The ones with all the twists, the second and the third one, those would be like super hard to make, extremely hard. Even the other styles, the Spielman style wands, would also be not the easiest to make because depending on how much of that is metal, how much of it is that white creamy color, which I'm assuming is supposed to be ivory of some kind, or some sort of bone or some sort of stone. Depending on what it's made out of, it would be extremely hard to make, but they all look great. Nothing against anybody that will submit a drawing on a lined piece of notebook paper. It's fine. I draw in my little notebook over there that's just graph line paper. So it's not a big deal. These are super nice though because they're like colored and fancy and like, ooh, I'm so fancy. Nice job, Andy. Proud of you, man. Proud of you. Next spotlight goes to Joe from Barcelona. I'm gonna have to say that this is probably, when it comes to drawings, these are gonna be my favorites that I've gotten so far. I really like the fact that they're all colored, makes them super nice. I like the style, it's all very organic, which is super cool. I also asked for permission to try to create some of these and possibly change them around a little bit. So I actually want to ask you guys which one you think I should try to make. Which one is your favorite? There'll be a poll up on the top right there. I'm gonna number these 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, right up there. And vote for which one you think looks the coolest and which one you would want me to recreate in real life. Or I guess create in real life because they've never been made before. Let's talk about the wands. Like I said before, very organic. Really like the fact that they're very organic. I kind of usually lean towards the more organic look for most of my wands Don't like the uniformity too much. Don't really like to make wands on lathes. If you guys follow the channel at all, you'll know that. Really like these. I think a few of them are a little bit on the fat side, just a hair, depending on the length of them. If they're real, I'm assuming that some of them may be short, so that's why the handles looks a little bit fatter. But if you were to stretch them out a little bit more and the ratio is still the same, it wouldn't work out as well. But I'm gonna have to say that I really like number 4. I think number 4 out of all of them is my favorite. I really like the red one, number 1, as well. I like number 2 and 3 too. So I'm gonna just have to say I like all 4 of them, but I think my favorite is number 4 out of these. Definitely. I like the wrap. That's the one I'm leaning towards making. But again, let me know. Click on that little eye. Vote for which one you want me to make, because I think I'm gonna make one of them, maybe more than one of them. It all depends on how many of you guys vote up there, and then maybe I'll show you guys that on the next new WandsDay. I don't know. Nice job, Joe. Nice job, my dude. So that does it for the spotlight section of this video. Now, let's move on to the next part. Normally, it would be the TBF, the to be finished wand, but right now, I do not have any. I just finished one last night, so I'm gonna show you guys that instead. How does that sound? I think that sounds pretty good, right? I think that's pretty good. So if you guys missed it yesterday, 3 wands went up for sale. So if you guys don't have the notifications turned on for YouTube, maybe you may want to do that if you are interested in picking up any future wands, because I will be posting them on there saying like, hey guys, wands up for sale. If you guys want to check them out. It's kind of random. There's no schedule for them. It just kind of happens when it happens. So you may want to do that. The wands that went up were this guy, which it already sold, so it doesn't really matter. This one, this little guy right here, which also already sold, so it doesn't matter either. And then the third one, which is one of the new ones, is this Paduk wand. Really like this one. Think it came out pretty good. It has this this spiral that is attached to it, and it kind of blends in right there where it just kind of fades into it, and then it grows out, spins around, lifts up a little bit right there. So we got a little opening. We got a little opening right there. And then the black is actually a little bit of paint. I just put it on there to kind of accent it a little bit more. I love Paduk. Paduk is one of my favorite woods to work with. It's a good hardness. It's easy to sand. It's easy to cut. It's kind of just a nice wood to work with. Also, my favorite part about it, if you burn it, it smells delicious. You just love it. Just one of my favorites. I wish they made a Paduk scented candle. They should do that. Why don't they do that? This one definitely feels really good in your hand. It's nice and rounded. Nothing weird about it when you're holding it. Definitely has plenty of spots to kind of wedge your hand and have good control over the wand. Definitely nice. Flexible at all? I know some of you guys hate it when I bend wands, but you gotta check the wand a little bit. Look at Ollivander, he bends his wands all the time. So take it easy, And now I have 2 other wands that are also not available because they're already sold. They're kind of a special order for a personal friend. These are 2 sister wands. People seem to really like these, and I'm surprised. I feel like everyone likes this one better than this one, but I like them both. I really like how this one ended up coming out. Basically, there's 2 spirals on this, which is what makes it really interesting, because basically there's one spiral on this side that starts over here, and then there's one that starts here, and then they basically meet and spiral all the way around, and then they both terminate on the blade right here. Definitely organic, definitely not perfectly aligned. I didn't want that. It's made out of purple heart, and then I just added a little bit of silver and a little bit of violet and blue paint to kind of give it this this faded shinier handle with the lighter purple, almost a reddish purple towards the end here. May not look as red to you, but it's almost like a, it's not as purple. It's more of a, like a pink, like a dark pink, I'd say, for the blade itself, and it kind of the end of the pommel here a little bit. For the sister of this little wand right here, so this could either be two siblings wands, right? Twins, similar ages, similar designs where they both have spirals, but they're different styles of spirals. Definitely the same coloring between the two. Exactly made out of the same piece of wood. Actually, they were probably cut out from a piece of wood about that big right there. Basically one piece that was split into two. So it's kind of a play on the twin wands, but instead of being twin wands, they're just sibling wands, which is another idea for different style wands. So now this one for some reason seems to be a crowd favorite compared to the other ones. I don't see why. I like this one, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's any better than the other ones. I definitely like the spiral. I tried to give it a lot of these flats here to basically just kind of give it some difference. I wanted it to be more of a squared look as opposed to this one's nice and circular and round and smooth and no straight edges on it. And then this one, I kind of went the opposite. I still wanted a spiral, which the spiral is nice and smooth all the way around, but then we have these flats all the way around. And then actually the blade itself has flats all over it. It's not a perfect cylinder going all the way down. It has a ton of flats running all the way down the blade. And then the spiral just terminates right here and kind of just points out, just goes. It looks pretty good. I like these two. I actually made them a little bit smaller. I know that younger wizards, if they're playing around with things and you have something that's longer, you're gonna have a little bit more leverage. If you smack it on something, it's going to be, it's definitely going to be more of a hazard and also more likely to break. So I kind of gave this one a little bit more beef, I guess. Does that make sense? Gave it a little bit more, girth, I guess, on the handles and also on the blades, and made them a little bit shorter so that they have less leverage. Also, Purple Heart is a very strong wood, very hard on your tools. It's probably more likely to crack if you were to drop it on something hard and it was like cold or just hit it perfectly. It can crack, and that's a problem, but it's not my problem because I don't drop my wands. I actually had one break on me once. So these are the sister wands. I really like them, and I like the idea of sisters having these wands, or even it being like shorter dueling wands, so you can kind of unsheath them, kind of like pistols, right? Shoo, 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 shoo. I don't know. Do whatever you want, guys. Pew, 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 pew. Definitely two of my favorites. Very simple designs, nothing crazy going on with them, but I think they go together well. And I think the owners are going to be hopefully happy with these two. And now this next one, I've been working on for a while. I've had some issues with it that I didn't like how it was turning out. And I've revisited it several times. Again, I showed you guys this last week, but I'm definitely gonna warn you guys now. This wand is not for everybody. It's kind of creepy in my opinion. It has some weird features on it. It's a little bit more for the darker wizard, for the spooky wizard or witch. So you've been warned. Here it is. It's definitely a creepier wand, I would say. It has all these little cutouts here, which make it look like it's almost like infested with something. I love the design for this. You can see the end here. It has all these little spots. This is actually made out of black palm, which is one of my favorite woods to basically to finish. Once it's done, it looks great. It's one of the harder woods to work with because it splinters very easily. If you guys do pick this up, just be careful with that because it does splinter extremely easy, and you will be left with some giant holes in your hands from all these little pieces. If you look closely, you'll see that there's some black and some brown colors on it. The black and the brown are the wood fibers that are basically kind of just squeezed together. And what happens is when you're cutting those away, some of them will come off and they just kind of poke out at you. When you have something like Purple Heart, it's very, very tight. The grain is very tight, very small little pieces. And then these are very big, chunky strips, basically. It's like if you took a bunch of hay and just lined it all up, squeezed it together, and then poured some glue on it. That's kind of how this is. It's still nice and heavy. I tried to make this pommel heavy as big as possible without it being weird. You definitely hold it towards the end. You can hold it up here. I like to hold pommel heavies just kind of in my palm. Pommel, oh, look at that. Pommel, palm, heavy. What? Definitely one of the creepier designs that I've come up with, but definitely one of my favorites. And again, look at that. Look at that end grain. I just love that end grain on a black palm. It's one of my favorites. It just looks so good. I like it. I like it a lot. And now for the last one. This one I was working on for like 3 months now, and it was one of those wands that I started and I was like, I don't like how it looks. Put it aside. I do that a lot. I do that occasionally. I don't do that a lot. I do it sometimes. Sometimes I'll work on I'll start something and I'm not loving it. So I put it aside until I can figure something else out for it. Either I come up with a better idea or I just get that eureka moment and I figure something out, and that's kind of what happened with this one. I was working on another wand that I ended up scrapping, and then I saw this one and I was like, I have an idea. This is the final product, the Sirius Black pattern right there that I put on the handle. I think it looks really good. And then you have these stripes running down, and then there's actually a split in the middle here where they don't connect and they're a little bit off from each other. And then you have the other side here. And then you have these little accents here, which are basically, while making this, I basically flattened. I have all these flats here, and then you go back and you sand it a little bit to kind of highlight the spots that you want to take away the black. I really like this wand. I think it came out really cool, and I learned some things from this, and it's gonna definitely improve some other ideas that I have for other wands. If this wand and this wand are not up on the shop yet, they will be up on the shop very soon. We'll get another look there at the Sirius Black pattern. This is the pattern that's on his wand. I just put it on one side. I just think it looks really cool. Sirius Black was one of my favorite characters, so it's a tribute. It's a tribute to Black. This is, I believe, the first cherry wand that I ever made, and I think it came out pretty cool. It almost has some like racing stripes. That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's a cool wand. It's a nice, simple, straight style design. So you can see here, it's kind of a simple handle, simple design. It's a nice wand. I like it. I think it came out pretty good. Let me know down below, guys, which one was your favorite out of all of these. When you guys let me know things like that, it kind of helps me design more wands that you guys are all gonna like. So here you have it, y'all. These are all the wands for this week. Sadly, 2 of them are gone, but the 3 are still available. And now my tip for this new WandsDay. If you have been paying attention, you will notice that I have been talking about the different styles of woods, the different breeds and types of wood that you're working with. When you have something like Padauk, it's super simple. It's probably it's almost like a medium hardwood. I'm not sure what it's actually considered, but when it comes to wand making, it's one of the easier style woods to work with, a little bit easier on your tools. Creates a lot of dust. That's one thing that I've noticed with it. But then you have something like Purple Heart, which the final product is beautiful, nice, hard, but it's very hard to work with. Hand cutting it is extremely hard. If you're trying to use knives and chisels on it, it's not easy to do. And then you have things like Black Palm, which it's soft, but it's not easy to work with, and it's not easy to get a good final finish on it. personally, in my opinion. Maybe other people have easier time with it, but I always have a hard time, and I usually stab myself a couple times as well. So that's something that you need to basically just pay attention to the style of wood, what you're trying to do. If you're going to use a branch to do something, you can do it. It's not too hard. Take something like this. This is just a blank branch, basically, without the bark on it. Here's the difficulty about something like this. If you're working on something like this, is that you're going to encounter a lot of knots, or just if you're trying to cut it by hand, you're going to encounter a lot of just resistance sometimes. Having very sharp tools is very useful and very important, but also more dangerous. If you're trying to use a Dremel, it'll work fine with this. It's pretty good. If you're trying to use this and use a knife with this, I probably wouldn't recommend it. A good starter wood, I would say, is something like Osage is pretty soft. There's something like soft maple is pretty good as well. Those are kind of something in that category. Softer woods are easier to work with. They're not as easy to finish. They're not going to be as resilient and as strong and feel as good, because they're going to be a lot lighter, which some people don't like lighter woods. Take this piece of cherry here. It's pretty light. It's a lighter wood. It's more, I would say, along the lines of a sycamore or something like that. Sycamore is another good one to work with. It's fairly soft. So learn your woods when it comes to what you're going to design, because some woods, like something like this, I wouldn't want to really carve into, because the most beautiful thing about this wood is its crazy, awesome grain. It's just the grain, and you want to accent that grain. You want to show that off. And if you if you carve too much into it, it takes away from it. So you don't want that. Now back to these two. Something like this, the main thing about Purple Heart is the color, is that beautiful purple color. Different Purple Hearts also have different shades of purple. They're not all the same. Depending on how you finish it, how long it's been sitting in the sun, it'll fade and all this crazy stuff. So definitely learn your woods, experiment with different styles. If a design is not working on a certain type of wood, it may be the wood. It may not be the design itself. It may be the actual wood just know your wood is basically. You'll definitely never know everything about it, but it's definitely good to start somewhere. If you're gonna try to make a wand, start with a softer wood, especially if you don't have the bigger tools to tear down something like Purple Heart. So guys, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys want me to continue to do these tips, or if you want me to talk about anything specific in the next video, any specific questions you have. And if I get enough of the same question, I'll make sure to answer that in the next tip section of New WandsDay. Don't forget, if you want to submit wands for review, then send them to newwandsday@gmail.com, and I will check them out. I have a ton in there. I have a backlog that I need to go through and really bunker down and just make a couple videos on those. If I do all of them, it's going to be like a 2-hour long video, so I'll probably split it up into like 3 or 4. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like the video if you liked it, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to vote on that little thing. Also, hit that notification thing so you can be notified when new wands come out, new videos, new book stuff. All the good things are great. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.